Hey, what's going on, everyone? So, welcome to this stream about mental health awareness. I'm here with your boy, MrRepzion. You guys know him. You love him. How you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for not putting a dot in my name in Mr. A lot of people do that, and it's like something that I just really annoys me.
All right.
Yeah, they always put a dot in front of Mr. Like, no, no.
No, that would look. I don't know. That's weird. You don't. Yeah, no. I definitely not. I'm gonna be having somebody else join me. Reverie. She's a hip hop artist, and she's someone that I've actually been listening to for years, and she'll join us in a bit. She's just you know just a little late, but hey, it's all good. So obviously the main reason why I wanted to talk about this is because Chester Bennington of Lincoln Park, he just committed suicide yesterday, and big deal. Huge guy, huge influence to a lot of people, and I wanted to say that I've been meaning to make two mental health. Oh, okay, she's already here. Cool.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. So sorry about the wait, you guys.
Hey, no worries. You're pretty much, we just started, so you only missed like 30 seconds.
Cool.
What you doing? You just chilling? What are you doing?
I'm in the car. I couldn't make it home on time, so I'm in the car.
All right. I mean,
I was running some errands. I'm having a crazy day. Yeah, but it's nice to meet you guys.
Definitely. I was just telling them that I've been listening to you for quite a while, so it's dope. It's an honor to have you on my channel.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, right before you showed up, I was just saying that the main thing that sparked this, because I've been meaning to make some. I've recorded two different videos. Two different videos about mental health awareness, especially in Mental Health Awareness Month, which is in May. And I didn't end up posting it because I just was completely unhappy with it. It just didn't seem right. And I'm always kind of questioning myself. And when I talk about my personal issues and things that I've experienced, and then sometimes I always feel like, I don't know, should I put it out there, or is it gonna be received well? Is this even gonna help anybody? And then so ultimately I just end up not posting it. But I thought this is, especially after this happening, Chester being hugely influential to so many people. He's helped so many people with their mental health issues, so many different things. And to see him take his own life was just absolutely devastating to so many people. And so ultimately I thought I definitely need to say so. I should say something. Any little bit helps, even if you're helping out even if it's like one person. Maybe make a difference. One person.
There's always somebody.
Yourself,
Yeah.
It feels good to let things out. It feels good to express like what's going on in your head.
Yeah, absolutely. So so first thing I want to do is I kind of want to just examine a little bit for the people that didn't know of what happened with Chester. He just like a lot of people, auto asphyxiation, they hang themselves, and we're trying to figure out like what was happening, what was going on, and there's some information that's available, like say that he's had a troubled past. In interviews he's talked about having suicidal thoughts before, especially because he's been abused by an older person, an older guy when he was young. And that person that abused him was abused as well. It was like a chain of abuse. And
that's usually how it goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's
always how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really unfortunate. And then one of the biggest things that came to light is that, he was really, I guess a lot of people knew that he was really good friends with Chris Cornell from Soundgarden and Audio Slave. And that dude, he just hung himself not too long ago. And the thing that seemed really interesting is that today or yesterday would have been Chris Cornell's 53rd birthday, and that's when Chester hung himself. And they were definitely close because not too long ago, before Chris Cornell, Chester wrote an open letter to him, like he was trying to reach out to him. And yeah, there was definitely some stuff going on, and he tried, and then I think that his death like affected him. Just
of course it did. things like that affect the people that are around whoever did
Especially
it.
if you try to reach out to somebody and they still end up, you know, ignoring you, and then they end up killing themselves. Like, I would almost feel like a sense of responsibility that what I said wasn't good enough, or like what I you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That I couldn't do anything, even with reaching out.
No, I totally understand that. I totally understand that, and that's actually something that something that I've never really talked about before, and it is one of those things where I know I shouldn't feel a sense of responsibility, but like I had a friend that, you know, she took her own life, and I feel like that if I would have, like, we lost contact for a little while, and that's kind of like when it happened. There was just like a span of knowing her around 2010. Like I went on this tour with my band, and you know, I sold her some merch. We kept in contact, like we were really cool friends. And she told me that, you know, keeping in touch with her and talking to her every once in a while, it was keeping her, you know, level-headed and keeping her from doing something she might regret doing. And I appreciated that. But when she got into a relationship, I wanted to, you know, obviously distance myself because, you know, in respect for her significant other, because it would seem kind of weird if I'm talking to her all the time. And within that time period, I remember I was having I was kind of down on my luck, and it's something that I'll go into a little bit later. But when I reached out to her, like say it was a couple of years later, trying to see how she was doing, and I just see all over her Facebook page that rest in peace. And I was like, just devastated. Like, what happened?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was thinking that I probably could have saved her if I would have kept in touch with her, if I would have at least tried to check in on her periodically, but it just we just fell off. And and who knows, even though you know, obviously I shouldn't have that type of mentality, like I feel responsible, or I could have saved her, I could have done something, but you can't help but feel that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've lost a few friends to suicide, and it's really confusing. And I think everyone who knows a person that commits suicide is bound to feel a little bit responsible, you know, and that's just part of human nature. You know, we have compassion and we feel for each other, and we always mean to be the best we can and be there for the people that we love, but it's really hard to do that because this is the real world, you know, and there's not enough time for anything, you know, and we forget that it's really important to spend time, to make time, to show the people we love that we love them, you know. And I think that every time something like this happens, every time we lose somebody to something like this, it just reminds us all how much more love we need to spread around to the people we love. And that's what I think we should take out of this. And it's a really common thing, you know. All of us, almost everybody I know knows somebody that, I mean, everybody I know has lost somebody to suicide, you know, and it's really difficult. And I think I just keep repeating myself, we just need to spread the love. We need to show the people we love that we love them, and not be afraid of being rejected or looking stupid while doing it. And we need to be more open with our emotions, you know. In our society, especially with men, we're taught that men shouldn't cry and men don't have feelings and men have to be strong. But you know what, men need just as much love as women. And I think we need to just keep making that more aware.
That's a big contribution to mental health with men anyway, because men are always more prone to hide their emotions due to the stigma that surrounds us. It's huge. It's still I'm shocked that the stigma still is as rampant as it is, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous that and there is, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that do kind of push back on it. There's a lot of people that if you try to be open about it, they might try to make a joke about it or just brush it off, or just try to say that you're gay or something like that. And you know, I sometimes understand if somebody's something that's extremely trivial, like, oh, I got a hangnail or something, then you kind of like, oh, get away from me. But I get that, but there's certain times where I can tell when my friends, when their tone changes, when it's something like they try to make light of a situation because they don't know how to be super open about it, but you can tell when it's something that's really affecting them, and then you kind of like, you know, you want to listen and be like, what's going on, man? Tell me what's up, you know, and in a way, you know, in a way that's not gonna like offend them or try to like hurt them and be like, oh, like, come here, you poor thing. But you know, and I'm like that too, though. I'm like that too. I've every once in a while, I definitely gotta talk to somebody. But luckily, I have this platform right here that really helps out a lot. It genuinely does. When I've even gone through some breakups that I went through, you know, I made like vague videos. Like, I didn't spill my guts, but I just kind of let people know the situation, knowing that my audience, my viewers were going to kind of like, they were going to just give me a bunch of positive messages and positive vibes. And it's like it was like the best thing. And, you know, and I know not everybody has that, but I'm just saying that, you know, if you know people that are willing to talk to you, willing to listen, hey, don't be afraid to reach out to them straight up. Let me see.
Yeah, it's really nice to have an audience to vent to, and then like it's cool. Like you're saying, not everybody has that, and they don't. Most people don't have a bunch of fans and people giving them feedback. But also don't forget that you are bringing all these people together, and you're giving them a sense of relief and belonging as well. You know, it's a mutual thing.
Yeah. You know, I got a really interesting question by this other YouTuber. He's my friend Nick, where he was talking about, and I've noticed that there is a wave of people that kind of fetishize mental health. Like, there's a lot of people, like, say, for example, if you've spent any time on the website Tumblr, there's a lot of people on there that want to self-diagnose themselves, and they want to kind of claim that there's something, like they kind of want attention. They want you to feel bad for them. And why I bring this up, because I feel like, because I've known somebody personally like that. And and I just feel like it was so much more, it was so damaging to how I grew up with her, to where she was almost like a, what is that word you call, like a hypochondriac or something? Is that it? When people
when you
think they have everything?
Yep.
Yeah. And it was really, really bad. And I would just say, the only thing I can say to that is I definitely think people need to, like, if anything, like one time I sought professional help, but only because I thought that was what was going on with me. This was because before I got diagnosed with a mitral valve prolapse, like my heart valve is all out of whack. Before I knew exactly what it was, I thought it was all mental. So I was trying to see what was going on, if I need to see, because I was having panic attacks and I didn't know what the hell was wrong with me.
Wow.
Yeah, and people were saying, "Oh, it's probably this. You know, you need to go seek help." And then But at the time, I was doing pretty well. I was in an okay. So I'm like, I don't even know why I'm freaking out. This doesn't make any sense. So I did go out and talk to, but then luckily, I mean, not luckily, I still have to take medication every day. But hey, I got it figured out though. So I would say to even people that, you know, they might not know, they might think that something's going on with them mentally. I don't know. All I'm saying is seek professional help. Like
always.
Yeah, because who knows what I'd still be freaking out. You know what I mean? If I didn't seek professional help, if they didn't find out what was wrong with me, I had to get an echocardiogram, and they had to like, oh yeah, your heart's fucked up, dude. Like, your heart's fucked up. You're yeah. And I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess that's better. I mean, you know, I was like, whatever. Well, it is what it is. But I was is there anything, like, say, do you guys have anything personal, anything that you wanted to share with and put out there? Like, say,
I would like to ask a question for the audience, and even to you, some guy, everybody for that matter. I think it's really important when situations like this happen, that we respond and talk about the response of people, such as you're a coward and you are selfish when you commit suicide. Because often when someone takes their life, there's these massive influx of messages of people hating on people, saying, I think the singer of, it's somebody in the band Korn just released a statement.
The singer
just released a statement very recently. Yeah. I think it was today, in fact, saying that Chester killing himself was cowardly. And the question I want to ask is it cowardly or is it selfish to commit suicide?
Well, I kind of understand both sides of the argument because of where I come from it myself, where one of the things that me personally that keeps me on this earth, even in like the toughest of times, is I think about my mom, for example, of what it would do to her if I were to, you know, take my own life, because it might make her do something similar. She might try to, I just think of it in that way. Say that in a way, it could be selfish. It can be taken that way. It could be cowardly, as some people would say. But the whole thing is that there's so many different variables, and it's not just that simple. It's not just a simple answer to just say, oh, it's cowardly, therefore, don't do it. I'm like, you have to examine, why are people doing stuff like this in the first place? And sometimes some people don't want to be a burden to others and feel like, say, maybe they're doing more harm than good by existing. And so that's why they try to leave then, because maybe the temporary pain and grieving will be less than how many years of living with somebody and, with you being around and causing a lot of misery and woe in their life. No, there's so many different variables. So I'm just saying, though, I think it's more of a case-by-case basis. And for, Head, the guitarist, to even say anything like that, I think it might be Monkey, I don't remember. But to even say anything like that, it's incredibly disrespectful, one, because, people are grieving. It's one of the things that, even if you say something like a correct analysis of something, even if you're being like real about something, and it sounds like really harsh. I mean, sometimes, sorry, I'm getting really sick. Sometimes you should probably hold off. You should probably, just shut up and maybe keep quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that was just really a dickish thing to even put out there the day or the very next day that he died. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's obviously I think selfishness and being cowardly are two separate things, I think, but a lot of people like to blend them in. It's an interesting thing about when people say, like, his response that he's a coward. I think for people like myself, this is for me. When I see somebody say he's a coward for doing this, for taking his life, I think that can actually have a negative effect on people who are struggling with mental health, because it almost, when they see gut reactions like that you're a coward, that you're selfish for for even thinking about these thoughts, it makes people like me who struggle with depression not want to talk to anybody about how I feel, because if I voice to somebody, hey, I'm having suicidal thoughts, and their gut reaction to me is, you're selfish for thinking that. You're a coward for thinking that. That puts me at a really odd, really difficult situation, and I'm definitely not going to want to be able to vent or tell anybody what I'm struggling with if that's their gut reaction. Yeah,
that definitely makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think it's fair to call somebody a coward for doing something that you don't know anything about. Like, some people will say people who commit suicide are cowards, and some people will say, their back was against the wall and they felt like they had no other option. And not that I agree with suicide, but I understand how people can get there, because I've struggled with depression my whole life too. And I have a lot of friends and family who do. And like I said, I've lost people to suicide as well. And I don't think it's realistic to call somebody a coward when you know nothing about their situation and you just feel differently. Like you said, like, there's just some topics that people should be a little more compassionate about, and I think that mental health is definitely one of those things. The problem is with mental health and people who have depression and anxiety, there's a lot of people out there who literally don't even believe that it exists.
Oh yeah,
I get all around the world complain about it and experience it. Yeah, so to them it's all like something like a switch, like everyone has this on and off switch, and it's be sad or be happy, and people who don't deal with mental health issues, they just feel like, why can't we just flip that switch, and we just don't have that switch that you guys have. And not everyone's the same, everyone's built completely different inside and out. And just because you don't understand something, it doesn't mean you should go putting it down and making the situation worse than it already is. If somebody's committing suicide, it's obviously beyond anything that you can imagine. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't even relate to those issues. So I don't know, it's like, I feel like to each his own, but I don't think he was a coward. I think he was a brilliant man who spread his story and shared his pain and has saved lives all over the world, and he's going to live forever. That's my perspective, and anybody can disagree with that. I really don't care, but that's what I believe. And I am here for anybody that struggles with depression and anxiety. I deal with that, and I send you my love and support. That's what I would say about that.
It's also important to mention that asking for help is never wrong. And we have to get past that stigma of asking for help is looked down upon, especially when you voice your feelings on what you're going through. Because I know with men, there's still a lot of men don't like asking for help when they're or asking for needing help. It's just a really common thing. I don't know why that is, but
yeah, it really, especially in this day and age, it doesn't make any sense. There's we're at a point in time where, you know, egos and like these stigmas and these traditions of just you should just know how to do things, or you just need to cope with this, you need to man up or whatever, is kind of just like, dude, just get out of here with that shit. Like,
why,
go ahead.
Why do we associate asking for help with weakness? That's another question. I don't understand that either, because that's a huge thrust of it.
See, that's the weird thing. Like, say, because I definitely don't think there's any problem with being quote unquote manly or whatever. If you wanted to, you know, you wanna be big and tough or whatever. But the whole thing is, even people like that, well, why is it a problem to, you know, ask for help for certain things, especially if there's something wrong with you? I mean, you're a human, you know, like say I've seen men. I remember when I was a kid, I would never see like grown men crying. So I usually wouldn't see that. At a certain point, I thought like maybe they don't, you know, because I was really young. I was really, really young.
Yeah.
I remember seeing, I can't remember if it was a movie Payback or Ransom. I think it was Ransom with Mel Gibson. And like he was like having his like son kidnapped or something like that. And there was like a scene where he was just like bawling his eyes out. And I was like, so like, what? I've never seen that before. Like just seeing a grown man just crying his eyes out. And I'm just like, damn. So that can happen. And it's real, man. I've seen like,
yeah, I know what you mean. That's like the same, but that's like basically the same experience I had growing up. Like, men don't cry and all that. Like, it's so ridiculous. Like, men need to cry. People need to cry.
Well, yeah, it's a natural reaction. You know, it's something that, you know, like say you would hear women say a lot of times after they're done crying, they feel much better. And I actually remember when I was going through my when I still hadn't been diagnosed with my my palpitations, my prolapse. I was talking to my mom, and then she was thinking that it was mental. And she's like, "You need to like just let it out, and you need to." She was like trying to like get me, and I was telling her, I was assuring her, I'm like, "Mom, I can't. Like, nothing's really happening. Like, things are chill right now." I was like, "I don't know. I can't explain it." And she was like, "No, you need to stop ignoring." And she was trying to like, and I totally understand what she was trying to do, but I was like trying to assure her that I'm like, "Yo, I know. Like, trust me." If things were really fucked up, I would probably be crying or something. And like something that, and I would say when I was younger, I was really happy-go-lucky, never really understood suicide and depression before. It didn't understand it at all, really, because it was just because it never really came around me. And it wasn't until like 4 years ago, I think it was like 2013, I was always kind of not into relationships. I was more the like 50 Cent, I'm into having sex, I need to make love, like just whatever, you know, like I'm just like whatever. But I got really hung up on this one girl to the point where even we were talking about, oh, we should go get a car together. We're probably gonna go halves on a car or something like that. Anyway,
so serious.
Yeah, I got super serious. But then out of nowhere, she pulled a 180 on me, pulled the rug from out of me. Just, it's a long story short, it crippled me to the point where I developed anxiety, and I have it forever now. It's never gone away. Like if there's certain situations that happen, I get like shortness of breath, and sometimes I end up gagging. Like I'm just like, oh shit. And it happened from that, and I was depressed for months, and my friends were like they felt so bad for me because they're like, oh, what the hell do we do? And I'm like, I don't know, just give me some time, guys. Just give me some time. But it was something that was so, to me, that was so trivial, but I was just like, holy shit, like I would rather just, you know, I've been jumped, I've broken stuff. I'd rather get my ass beat like 10 times over than dealing with that level of heartbreak. It was, I remember I switched departments at work, and it wasn't even that bad. And I remember I was at work, and I was fucking just lying in the corner, like trying to like not cry and shit, because I was just really devastated from the breakup. And my boss came up to me and like, dude, like, is it is it really that bad? Like switching apartments? Like, is it? I'm like, nah. And I'm like, nah. I'm like, it's all right. I almost got fucking fired because I missed, I almost missed I actually did miss too many days in a month, but since I was a good worker, they kept me on. But
yeah,
that shit crippled me, man. And to anybody dealing with anxiety and stuff like that, like I totally get it now. And it's the worst thing. Like I'd probably rather take a shot in the arm. Like, cause you know, it's gonna hurt for a while and then it's gonna go numb and then you're gonna get fixed up and you'll be fine. But like, this is something that I'm like carrying for like forever. Like, I don't know how to get rid of it. Like I wish that I could. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me, man.
And I think like it's good to like acknowledge that something's wrong and then like try to figure out how to fix it. You know, like people with mental health, like that's one thing we need to like take control of our minds and our bodies and eat better, like exercise, meditate, talk about our feelings, like make it a consistent thing to make sure that we're changing the way we think. Like instead of dwelling on the bad things in life and the sadness and all the stuff that makes you depressed, like tell yourself every day, like when those feelings are coming on to you, like I'm not going to feel like this. I'm not going to allow myself to feel like this. I know what's going to happen if I let myself go down this road and it's not going to be cool. I've done this a million times. It's going to hurt, you know, and just say that to yourself every day forever, you know, and over time it stops coming so much. And I've been doing this like over the past couple of years so much. I've been practicing this and you have to just keep repeating it and repeating it. And over time, I think stuff gets better if you work on it. You know, everything in life takes hard work, including the outside of your body. You know, you have to eat right to look good, but the inside of your body too, you have to treat it right for it to work properly and to work to the best of its ability for you. You know, it's all about our thought patterns and the people we associate ourselves with and the places that we go and the things that we choose to do with our time. Like, don't stay in the house and be depressed and wonder where your life is going and it's going nowhere. Instead, like, do something artistic, paint something, go out and visit a friend, you know, go see nature. Like, there's so much to do outside. Like, we shouldn't be like trapped just watching TV and then wondering why we're so sad and unhappy, you know, when we're isolating ourselves and just watching fantasy all day and then wondering why our life sucks. You know, it's not realistic. I think we need to really take control of that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Definitely. Most definitely. Real quick, there's some people saying some pretty interesting stuff in the chats. Some people donating some money, some super chats. Wanted to check them out real quick. There was $10. Well, let me start here. Let me see what this guy says. It's just £2 from Harry Wessex. It just says some black guy just popped on my screen. Yes, appreciate you watching. $10 from Matt, and he says, I've been listening to Linkin Park for like a decade. Chester have always helped me with the angst, and his songs helped me to feel that depression was something I could overcome. Hope he finds peace. And that's a theme. That's a recurring theme that I've seen so much. So many people, like I made one post on Twitter, one post on Instagram about Chester dying, and the people in that alone that were telling me that he's helped them out through their depression and things of that matter, and their mental health illnesses and their issues. And I can only imagine how much it is on, say, if I go to, like, say, I saw Mike Shinoda make a post, I saw, in seeing what people probably have to say about that. It's just the type of effect that he's done. Like, I don't think a lot of people even think about that, especially people that are, they're not maybe fans of Linkin Park, and or there's people that just don't even like them. Like, whatever, they're just cringy or something. And I'm like, dude, these people mattered. Linkin Park matters to a lot of people. Like,
I grew up listening to a lot of Linkin Park. I'm devastated. I can't believe that we lost him to suicide. I didn't see it coming, but I guess like when people commit suicide, you never see it coming. You never know how people feel, It's
very true. A lot of times you don't see it coming. That was something that wasn't on my radar whatsoever. You know what I was thinking? Like, the latest album, I didn't really like it that much. I was just like, whatever. Next one will probably be much better. They're experimenting again. And I was just thinking, like, they'll be fine. I didn't think that all of a sudden Chester. And that's something that somebody brought up to me, and I forgot to even talk about that. Someone was saying that, do you think that a lot of the criticism that they were getting maybe even played a role into it? And at a certain extent, because I know it bothered him, because Chester made some statements about it. He made some statements and told people to shut the fuck up about hybrid theory. He's like, it's
really?
over 20.
Okay,
Yeah.
that I did not know. I did not know about that.
Yeah, he came out and he was mad at people always talking about, oh, you guys need to go back to Hybrid Theory. That was the best, you know, like their debut album. And he was like, shut the fuck up. That was great, but it was 20 years ago. And so he was totally mad about it, which I understand to a certain extent. I understand that, you know, as a musician, you want to evolve, you want to try different things. And I was actually, you know, I liked a lot of their newer stuff. I didn't love it, but I didn't like, say, the one that just came out, the album that came out this year. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me, but I didn't think it was just complete trash. It was just like they're reaching out to a different audience. Fair enough. The album before, which I thought was actually interesting, was called Hunting Party. They said that they wanted to return to the roots, and the album was much more reminiscent of Hybrid Theory. So I think why I think the fans were so angry is that they kind of got heavier and more into their roots, and then they just went extremely poppy in the album this year. So I think a lot of people are like, what's happening? And the only thing I can think of was like, well, they would have to know they were going to get a lot of backlash. So, but obviously maybe you still can't prepare for it because, yeah, he made a couple of statements just about people whining about it. So that could have also contributed to it as well. Feeling, you know, because there's another band that recently did that. They just crashed and burned by experimenting, and people hated it. And just some metal band called Suicide Silence. They changed up their sound completely, you know, and people hated it. And I imagine like they were talking a lot of shit. The drummer, who I actually know personally, and the singer, they were talking a bunch of shit. And I know they're acting like it doesn't bother them, but you know it does.
Yeah, when they have to voice that publicly, that it's bothering them. Yeah.
So that's another factor I just want to bring into that. And let me read the next one. This is from my homegirl Seren. She just leave $20. No message on it. Say something next time, but I appreciate that. Another 20 from Heavy Arm Kai 2000 says, as a man have issues accepting help. Not because of society's expectations, but because it was never there in the first place. I've gone without it for so long that I literally don't know how to accept it. And that's interesting. That is interesting. Especially like, say, if we talk about something like domestic abuse, for example, like the shelters for men are
very, very few, very rare,
very scarce.
I mean, they do exist. It's just it's not to the severity of, not to the level of women at all.
Yeah, and that's another thing that we always have a misconception about. Like, dude, I know guys personally that get the shit kicked out of their significant others. And the one thing is, like, you know, you're not supposed to put your hands on a woman. So they fucking get their asses kicked. I remember I was my favorite Mexican restaurant. This place, this one dude was just getting wailed on, and I was just like, damn, man. And everybody's like, the cell phones out, and it's like, oh, this is entertaining. And I'm like, yo, man, I didn't think that was cool as hell. I'm like, dude, this is fucked up, man. Like, what the hell? Like,
yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, I once got I don't even know what happened with this. I once got jumped. I was in Florida, and I was breaking up a fight. It was 3 girls on one, and I thought that was like really. I'm like, yo, I don't like to see people kick the shit out of each other unless it's actually for exhibition. And so I broke the fight up, and I don't know if it was just, you know, because seeing a cat fight is just so good, I guess. And those dudes got pissed off, man. They were so mad that I broke it up, and then they started fighting me. And
oh my God.
I was confused. I was like, yo, why are these dudes hitting me? And yeah,
that is so fucked up, man.
It was a stupid night, but I don't need to get too far into it, but I ripped my fingernail that night. So thanks, guys. Thanks, appreciate that one. Okay, let me see. I think I got just one more, and then oh wait, no, it's 2 more. Jordan Parsons, $5, appreciate it, man. Let me see. He says, I have a type of diagnosed depression that includes a lot of anhedonia. I don't know how to say that. Repzion, you know this? And
I never.
Let me put that in the chat. Maybe you guys know what the hell this is.
You know what, you guys? I'm gonna have to go, but thank you guys for having me.
Hey, no worries.
Yeah,
I appreciate you stopping by. Definitely, you know, hit me up anytime. You can always talk about this stuff, you know. And but yeah,
Definitely.
Privilege. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and my name is Reverie, everyone. My Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, everything is at Reverie Love. If you want to check out my music. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Yeah, make sure you guys check her out, dude. She's actually really good.
Adhedonia? I have never seen that word before.
I haven't either. Let me put in the
Here, I'm gonna look it up right now.
Okay.
I'm looking it up. Better not give me an Urban Dictionary definition.
Right.
No. It's the inability psychiatry. Inability to feel pleasure.
Inability to feel pleasure?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's fucking heavy, dude. This guy says
anhedonia is how it's pronounced.
Yeah, anhedonia. Okay, I get by still. Got any advice for major hedonia? Much love, peace. Damn, I don't have advice for that. That's something. Hopefully, I just posted it in the chat, and hopefully, maybe somebody will have something about that in there.
I would seek medical, a professional doctor.
yeah, no, I totally understand. Yeah, no, I totally like if you that's pretty.
A hard one. I can't, man. That would be horrible.
Yeah. All right, and last super chat right here, Malcolm from the North, dude. Love this guy. Really cool guy. He's been following my channel for quite a while. And he says, thanks for having this conversation, guys. I have friends affected by this, and no one took and one took his own life almost 2 years ago. I'm sure all of us have been affected by mental health in some way, shape, or form. Absolutely. And that's one of those things that I talked about in the beginning that were one of the reasons why I didn't post anything about Mental Health Awareness Month or the 2 videos that I recorded is because I felt like, say, my problems were a little more very trivial, but I think that's a really poor excuse to not say something and to put it out there and to kind of get things off your chest, you know, because, you know, things could really manifest into a much bigger problem. And, you know, it's stuff that I'm still dealing with today, you know, like say when I developed anxiety from I just bad relationships, and I've been repeating that patterns, and I've also been thinking, you know, after so many failed relationships, I'm like, is it me? Like, is it me, or am I picking the wrong women? Sorry, I'm getting sick as fuck, guys. Yeah, I'm like getting super sick, but I'm all right though. Yeah, so I'm thinking like, is it what's going on? And that's something that I've always been trying to get past. And, you know, sometimes it even makes me a little wary. Like, say, for example, like I'm talking to a girl right now, and I'm just thinking, you know, she seems awesome. She seems cool as fuck. But, you know, I just got out of a relationship not that long ago where it was the same situation where she seemed awesome and cool. And then I ended up getting in a bad situation. And then even before that. And it's just like, what the fuck's going on? And at a certain point, it does kind of like, you know, it messes with me. You know, it kind of, because like I said, when things happen so many times in a row, you have to start thinking, well, it's probably me then. You know, but I try to examine it, and I'm thinking, I'm like, dude, I'm not fucking doing anything wrong. Like, I'm a pretty chill guy. I don't like confrontation. I don't even like to yell at people. I don't give a shit, you know. I like to just be chill. Like, I don't seem to have any problems, but then something ends up happening. So it's kind of very trivial. I know a lot of people deal with it, but it's one of those things that, you know, if this shit keeps happening, who knows? You know, I don't know how I'm gonna. Therapy
can be a huge help, man. I can't recommend therapy enough. I know there's stigmas around that too, but like talking to like a psychologist, and that's what I did. They helped me tremendously, but it really determines what type of therapist you get.
Yeah, I think
some of them can be helpful, others may not.
Yeah, that's something that I definitely. I know one of my friends. He had a little bit of therapy, and that's something that I probably, you know, I've never actually gone through and had sessions. I looked into it. That was before. You know, I figured out my heart was what was going on with my heart. But I feel like, say, at this point, at a certain point, like, say, if I end up in the same situation, like, say, if the girl that I'm talking to now, if things don't like end up in a legitimate way, then it's like, okay, yeah, maybe I should try to talk to a professional and then see maybe if they can figure out what the hell is going on and why do I keep ending up in these situations. Because, like I said, I've examine them, and I've been thinking like, okay, well, what's going on? What did I say something wrong? Did I actually do something wrong? You know? And a lot of times, and I don't think I'm in denial or anything. I'm like, dude, no, I was fucking chill, man. Like everything was all right. Maybe I wasn't chill enough. Maybe I should be fucking wailing on these broads or something? I don't know. It's like, what the fuck should I be doing? Like, what am I doing wrong? And that's just I'm like, fuck it, dude. But I'm sure a lot of people have issues like that as well. In the chat, I'm sure a lot of people can relate. You know, even if it's a girl or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that, just relationships, them feeling like everything's chill, like they're the one that's cool, and then they keep dating a certain type of dude, or even like different types of men, and then they keep ending up like on the short end, and then they, you know, they're just getting older. Like I'm getting pretty old, and all things considered, you know, I look young.
You're older than me?
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Really? I thought you were my same age.
Nah, man. Everybody freaks
You got no
out.
black wrinkles.
You know what they say, man. You know they say fucking black don't crack. You know they say that. And to a certain extent, some, you know, especially since I'm not in the sun all the time either, like my skin's all right. But I want the people in the chat, I want you to guess how old I am. I know some people know, but I want the chat to guess. You guess too, Repzion.
I say, okay, so you're older than me. I say 33.
Not that old. I'm not that old.
Not that old.
Not that old. It's not too far off, but let's see what people are saying. So a couple of people have already hit it. Let's see, 2 people have hit it, 3 people, 4. Let's see, 5.
60.
Oh yeah, yeah, 49, dude. Yeah. All right. Okay, so a lot of people are getting it. Yeah, I'm 29 years old. I'm gonna be 30 next year.
Damn.
Yeah, I know I look young as fuck. Like, especially when I was at VidCon, when I was telling people like how old I am, they're like, "What the fuck?" They're like, "What?" They're like, a lot of people thought I was 20 or something, and maybe it's because I kind of look like I'm 20. But all right, so let's see. I think what I should do now is maybe I should, because this is something that I've never done before, but maybe I should try to invite some viewers, somebody on that might have an interesting story or something. I've never actually done that before.
Can you actually invite people randomly?
Well, what I would have to do is, like, say I could on Twitter DM somebody and shoot them the link. You know, otherwise, you know, like I can just like post it or something like that and then have a bunch of people fill up the chat. But I don't want to do that. I think I'd rather just, you know, maybe there's somebody that might have something interesting. I actually had another guy, Irate Beer, that was going to be on, but then he had to do another charity stream. So I was like,
I know who he is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he had to do something a tad bit more important, you know, raising money. Like, I totally understand that. You know, this is I'm not raising money. This isn't anything fast enough. Oh, there's Mr. Jeff Holiday. I know Jeff has had a pretty good, I'm not even say pretty good. He had a really good video about he released a video on mental health awareness month, and that was really interesting. He had a lot of cool things to say. Actually, I can even reach out to my name is Jeff. Hey, my name is Jeff. You want to stop by for a few minutes? Jeff.
It's Jeffy Poo.
Yeah, the Warskis were supposed to stop by after they're done streaming. I actually, we were supposed to start an hour before, but I guess they started, and so I just kind of pushed it back an hour so at least they can have an hour free, and they'll probably be wrapping up pretty soon. I don't know how long they usually go, but all right. So I'm going to shoot Jeff the link. And then I'm going to check the chat a little bit more. Maybe I can, you know, possibly invite somebody in there. Just maybe luck of the draw. Because why not, man? That's always I got sick yesterday. I was supposed to do a stream with my patrons, and then I got fucked up. It was my goddamn what's his name? My roommate.
Your roommate got you sick?
Yeah, he came home and he was like, "Oh, I feel like shit," and he was just and then that fucked me, man. I was just like, "Oh, thanks. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it very much." So I haven't been sick since I don't even know, sometime last year. So I was like feeling pretty good.
I haven't been sick once this year yet.
Yeah, I was fine, man. I think so. He works at a fucking comic shop, and then they're all gross over there. Just all these fucking greasy nerds.
Don't wipe their asses, greasy long ass hair.
Yeah, dude.
Dirty fingernails, long fingernails. Don't clean their fingernails. Don't trim them, clip them.
Dude, it's funny how, because like I used to hang out there sometimes too, and it's funny how many stereotypical nerds there actually there. Like I'm just like, come on, guys, like stop. Like, and even like the voice and too, like, and I'm like, dude, come on, how do you sound like this? Like, how do you like? You know, I'm like, dude, how does that happen? Like that's not real. But god damn, really whatever. But yeah, we'll just do like 20 more minutes, and then because I want to hear. I know Jeff always has something pretty.
We should look for advice on depression. To reach out to right now on Twitter and everything. Onision. I think he could really. No, I'm joking.
Oh, dude, you're so right, dude. Onision is.
He could help this discussion so much.
Absolutely. Like, can somebody tell Onision to get in this stream right now, because he's gonna be able to save the world with his wisdom. You know, God, fucking Onision, such a piece of shit, dude. Like he always has to say, especially when somebody like dies like that, a lot of people revere.
That's why I brought him up.
Yeah, he always has to say like the cuntiest things, man. Like,
you can't grieve properly over this person. Think about all the fucking little babies dying in abortion right now.
My name is Jeff. You guys are talking about Greg,
grieving about those babies, huh?
Yeah, we're talking about my boy. How you doing, Jeff?
Oh, I'm doing fucking fantastic. How are you guys? Good to see you guys.
All right, yeah, good to see you too, man. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
Talk to Onision about fucking depression. Jesus Christ. I don't know about that, man. I'm sure he's got he could tell us all how we're supposed to be depressed the proper way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something like that, right? I don't even know. Like, I feel like at this point, it's just he's like, in a sense, I kind of figured that Tariq was getting so much coverage by, you know, I mean, come on, that suspected words database thing. It's so ridiculous that I feel like Onision is essentially the same thing, or just say the most just outrageous stuff so people keep talking about you. And at a certain point, I'm just like,
it
dude,
works, man.
It totally does.
It does.
But I'm like, dude, fuck this guy. Even he made a video about, you know, a few people, and when we were talking about the man spreading BuzzFeed video, and like he took a shot at me too, and I was like, dude, I'm good. But I know he just wanted a string of replies. I'm like, just no, he doesn't deserve it, man. Like, well,
yeah.
But at the same time, he does. I mean, fuck, dude. Especially if this is your job, I kind of get it. Like, I didn't catch a Blair White stream, but god damn, man, that has some pretty good numbers on there.
Jesus Christ, dude, 15,000 viewers at height. That was insane.
That's nuts, dude. That's like Joe Rogan shit, dude. Like he gets 15,000, 20,000. That's nuts.
Yep. That's nuts. You know, nothing sells like fucking controversy. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. Even if I just put drama in the title, people are gonna fucking click on this thing. And I mean, hey, I love watching the drama. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't like being a part of it. That's just me though.
I can't seem to run away from it. I mean, fuck, dude. I guess I'm gonna be on Crowder next week. So
you're really gonna? Wow.
Yeah,
it's happening.
Yeah, it's probably gonna happen. Yeah,
that's so good.
I've been talking to his producer. Nice guy too.
You're talking about
AIDS.
Yeah,
the best topic in the world. We're gonna talk about AIDS, guys.
That's so good. So good, man.
Fucking shit.
I haven't watched this AIDS video yet. I keep people mentioning it.
Well, you gotta wonder what the fuck is the point of making that video? Like, that's like my biggest thing, where it's saying the AIDS epidemic's a hoax. I'm like, what's the point of what is the point of that, even trying to downplay AIDS? Like, what is your end game for that?
I mean, I don't want to hypothesize too much on what his motivations are in it, but there's only a few angles that you can play. We spend too much money on AIDS, you know, like, I mean, because he can't. I mean, I probably shouldn't be saying too much because I got to leave some of my juice for the talk with Steven. But I mean, you can't just like. It's not like there's an AIDS bank account and a cancer bank account. You'd be like, oh, okay. There's too much money in the AIDS bank account because people aren't dying as much anymore. Let's just take some of the money from AIDS bank account and put it in cancer's bank. It doesn't fucking work that way.
Yeah, I don't even know, dude.
It just doesn't work that way.
I don't even know.
It's wild. But yeah. I mean, fuck. It's still obviously a problem. There's still countries out there where they believe the cure for AIDS is you have to rape somebody who's a virgin who doesn't have AIDS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cheery shit, right?
Yeah. Hey, okay. All right, so I want to get let's get back on this topic though. There was I don't want to like segue too much, especially if somebody is, if there's people that are going to be watching this afterwards too, like, and if they're really looking for some insight to anything. I don't want a huge segment about AIDS. I'm actually there's actually some really good stuff in the super chat that I wanted to check out. One person, $5 said, Heavy Arms Kai 2000. He said, "Damn, I wish I could take Reverie's place in the stream. Hey man, you're on Twitter, man. Send me no, can't send me a DM. Heavy Arms Kai 2000. Send me your Twitter. If that's your Twitter name, I'm gonna DM you. Let's see, $5 from Melissa Rapp. Appreciate it. And you said, it takes time, patience, and compassion to work through depression and addiction. It is hard and scary to start, but it is worth it." And absolutely, I think that's one. I think one of the biggest things too is patience, because that's probably like one of the hardest things, to be patient, and for almost anything, man, and almost anything that you do, and like to become good at something, for example. Sometimes you just want these like really fast results, or you want to be better quicker. You want to stop feeling like shit immediately. And I'm like, sorry, man, it doesn't work that way. And I the same stuff happens to me, man. I mean, just I put out a video about me getting fat, like I've been gaining a lot of weight, and I've been working out, but I've still been simultaneously gaining some fat too. And I've been just like, and seeing the VidCon pictures, just fucking like, dude, disgusting, man.
Same, felt the same way. Yeah. All these beautiful pictures. I'm like, wow, I've never had such professional pictures taken of me. God, I look fat as fuck. Fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So, and it's one of those things where I've been going to the gym recently, just consistently, and I think I've lost like 2-3 pounds, and I was like, what the fuck, man? I want like more. Like, it's just the patience. But it's one of those things that it's hard for, like, you want instant results, and the same thing, you're going through whatever you're battling with. That's one of the main things you gotta just realize, like, expect, don't expect, don't have a time frame for that shit. Don't have a time frame for these things. Just get it done, like, however you can.
There's no speed run on depression.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, fuck. Right?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect thing to say. And $10 from Kenneth G. And he says, from a disabled veteran with physical and mental issues, thank you for being you. Hey, I appreciate that, man. And I hope everything's going well for you. Like, say, physical and mental issues, especially being a veteran, I can only imagine. And I know friends that are going through some of the same things. A few of my friends, they joined the Army and the Marines right out of high school. And most of them are okay, but some of them, they saw their fair share of shit. And it's one of the things, I'll be honest, it's one of the things that kind of kept me out, where I considered joining. Actually, not the Marines, but I was just going to join the Army. But there was just enough of my friends that were kind of like, I don't know, like, really think about it. And then I thought about it. I'm like, no, it's okay, because I know me, and I think that it probably would have like ruined me forever, especially the way that I deal with death. I don't deal with death very well. And so that was one of the things that kind of kept me out. I've always had a problem with, I can see things that people that are sleeping, animals that are sleeping, that from far away, they look dead, but you find out they're not. It's all good. As soon as I find out something is dead, I just get this fucked up vibe from it, man. Like, I just can't. It's so hard for me to deal with it, or even be anywhere near it or touch it. I'm talking about even something as small as like a possum or something dying in my garage and needing to get rid of it, and I'm just like, oh, you're fucking dead. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's always been a weird thing.
Existential crisis.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I did. I didn't feel affected. Like, say, my dad died when I was like 4, and I didn't really understand death at the time. And I don't know if that had anything to do with it, because I don't feel any. I never felt any type of. I always told myself that I'm glad, or that's a horrible thing to say. I'm glad that, but it's better that when I was young, when he passed, than when I was older, because I didn't really understand what was happening. But at the same time, maybe I don't remember feeling devastated or something. I don't know, because I don't really remember. I remember stuff about him, but I don't remember like say I don't even remember a period where I'm like, where is he? Like he, you know, and I was like really mourning for a long time or something like that. Maybe I just blocked it out or something.
Kids' brains are remarkably good at compartmentalizing things, especially trauma. So I mean, it might have fucked you up a little bit, but you just kind of like blanked it out. You never know. Could be anything.
Maybe. That's. I mean, why not? I don't want to try to reach for it and get all freaked out now.
Right. Not on stream, man.
Right? Can you imagine? Let me see.
Oh, shit.
2 pounds from outer face, and it says, "Talking actually made things worse for me. What then?" That's interesting. Repzion, do you have anything for that? Like, you ever?
Well, I think I did mention earlier about it could make things worse if the person doesn't respond properly to what they have to say.
Okay.
I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, you did.
Otherwise, I don't know how to actually respond to that. If somebody responded the way that they should when somebody comes out with, you know, I'm having suicidal thoughts, or this is what I'm going through, and they respond properly, but it makes you feel worse about yourself. I'm being honest. I don't have a response to that. That's why I say I would assume that they're responding incorrectly if you feel worse from that.
Yeah, you know, the strange part about it too. I mean, I've been in situations where I was in crisis because I had a very long stint with mental health problems. I actually almost had to get committed once, and I went on, you know, long regimens of drugs and that sort of thing. When I was trying to seek out help, because, you know, that was the advice, is you need to talk to people, you need to understand. I tried to go to therapists, and it didn't help. It really didn't help. I didn't feel like there was any kind of connection there. I didn't think that there was really any empathy. It didn't really feel like it was going to be something that would be an answer for me. And what did end up helping me, there was a small part of it which was talking about it with people that I trusted, that I really, really trusted. But I also knew that I couldn't like lay it on them like I was supposed to with my therapist. So I gave them just the brief bits, and instead asked them to try and make me happy, distract me. Let's do something. Let's do whatever. If I feel like I can open up, I'll open up. And then the rest of it was all a lot of self-care. And that's a skill that is not easy to learn. Learning how to take care of yourself is very difficult, especially if you're a prideful person. Like, I'm a fucking prideful person.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's really not easy. And it's different for everybody. Yeah.
You know, actually, now to think about it, it's important. Some people just want to have somebody listen, not necessarily respond.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing. So, like, that could tend to make somebody feel like shit. So, you open up to somebody, right? And then they give you advice that maybe you don't need or much less even want. You just wanted them to listen, but then they're trying to actually try to help you or fix you in some way. But that's not what you wanted at all. You just wanted them to literally just listen to what you have to say. So that could be a response to the I feel like more like shit. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to try to get. I have one last super chat right here, and it's $5, and from the Triforce Kid. There's 2 people I'm going to try to get into this stream right now. See if I can find the Triforce Kid if he's still here. He says, "I'm male, clinically depressed, have mental disorders out the wazoo. I want to be a part of this discussion extremely badly." And yeah, that would be. I think it would actually be a really good idea. And I was talking about just right before Jeff got here to see if a couple of people could join in and maybe, you know, kind of give their experiences and stuff like that, and that'd be really good. Just trying to do this simultaneously, talk at the same time. So finding the people, that's a little the difficult part. But I just sent one link to Heavy Arms, the Heavy Arms dude, the Gundam Wing guy. Yeah, I'm pretty weebed out about that. I don't know if you guys watched Gundam Wing. Love that shit. Yeah, so
weebed out.
I mean, hey, we all got our little we all got our weaknesses.
Oh,
what's
shit.
up? What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hello.
Hello.
Kind of freaking out because I'm fans of all of you, so yeah,
Well,
there's that.
Now I'm a fan of you, so we're on equal footing.
Yes. Awesome. Anyways, thanks for getting me in here. Seeing this and listening to what you guys have been saying has just had me chomping at the bit and wanting to like be like, oh, I have advice for everybody in the chat and want to share my story and all that good stuff too.
Well, yeah, what's going on with you, man? Definitely take the floor.
Well, I am a 10-year Air Force veteran. Pretty much have been out for about 6 years now. And yeah, have dealt with depression, anxiety, and all that good stuff in my life, just as much as I'm sure you guys have. And my comment I left earlier in the super chats about how not having, basically going through life, not really, like I was always just like the kid that stayed alone and was never really like, I don't know, social with everybody. I'll put it that way. And like you go through life never having that help, and then people want to try and help you, and you're like, it kind of weirds you out, and you don't know how to handle it. To where that's like my personal experience with it. And like Jeff said something like that kind of sounded similar to my experience, to where it almost seems like a pride thing, but like you don't want it to feel like pride, and you almost, whenever you get that help, sometimes it makes you feel like I don't want to accept the help because I don't want to be a burden to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of those type of situations, to where like it's really hard for some people to do that. Now, like I've learned ways to cope myself personally. Like back when I was still active duty, I relied heavily on exercise, to the point that I was a unit fitness program manager, and like I led the team basically. But sometimes I would do that to my detriment, which like hell, I'd run like 6 miles in a night just because I was feeling like shit.
Yeah.
But like it was the only way I could really cope. And like it's great for people to find methods to cope like that, but you have to do it within reason.
Mm-hmm.
To where like the who was it? The one guy that was like I don't want to talk to people or whatever. I can't remember exactly what he said. Something like
yeah, he says that when he talks to people, he feels more shitty about himself.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the talking makes it worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I see that point too, and like I think people like that, we're so self-aware of like our personal situation that like I said, sometimes you can feel like you're being a burden on other people, to where like you got to try and go out there and find the things that work for you, because it's not all like, oh, let me sit in front of the psychiatrist on the couch and like tell my life story, because that shit doesn't always work. Or I don't know, like me doing the exercise thing, that might help you. Maybe meditating and centering yourself may help you, to where like you just got to find your thing. And I was actually watching Lacey Green on the Rubin Report last night, and it was interesting how she was talking about her like coping mechanisms, and how she was doing something like, what was it? She got medication that made it to where it kind of clicked for her, and like it fixed a chemical imbalance in her brain, and she was like, holy shit, like I'm a completely different person now. To where like everybody just has something different. And I'm actually going to talk on a stream tomorrow night about depression, and like how there are chemical imbalances in the brain, but some of it is also like social or just in your head. And like I don't mean that to like degrade anybody's like personal experiences, not to be like, oh dude, you're just retarded, it's just in your head. I'm not saying it that way, but when some people say it's just in your head, they mean, look, you're overthinking it, or you have to get past that mental block that's keeping you from getting better and keeping you from trying to like find a way to heal yourself. Because hell, even I struggle like mad with that kind of shit. Like hell, I just went through a bad breakup, like you were talking about earlier. Some black guy. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name.
It's Derek, man. It's Derek.
Derek. Yeah, but like I identify with what you were saying earlier about your relationship issues and stuff like that, because I've had problems with that as well, and I'm finally learning to open up to my family, because hell, military, like you go hardcore, and that's the way things are. Yeah, and like you have to learn to deal with it, but there's also a part of the military where you have to be able to separate yourself from your emotions, because otherwise you won't survive in the military.
Right.
Because like if you're deployed or something like that, you see your best friend next to you get blown up or something like that, you have to learn how to deal with that shit. Because if you just break down, like, I mean, well, you're not really a good military man, because the military can't use you to win wars.
Right. They compartmentalize soldiering these days a lot into like almost a job type jargon. Like, that's the job. This is our job. This is the job that we have to do. It's a way to, like, I don't know, attribute not only soldiering but also duty into like a part of your own personal responsibility. But like, you focus on the job rather than focus on like, well, inside I'm getting emotionally crippled quite a bit and I miss my fucking family, but the job, I got to finish the job. Because the job also means like, you do the job's finished, and then eventually it's going to end. I think that's a lot of the compartmentalization. They try and do it with modern soldiering because they have so many problems with, you know, people coming back with a lot of issues, PTSD, what they used to call shell shock syndrome, things like that. It's wild.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, it's wild.
Yeah, I mean, but it's funny you talk about that compartmentalization, because I even see that in the civilian world with just regular people. Because of like the way their lives are treating them, they kind of do almost that same soldier mentality compartmentalization.
Yeah, I would agree. It happens a lot too. I mean, you know, it's so strange. Everybody's so different. And the types of depression, and there's so many varied types of it that can affect people in different ways too. You know, when I look back on it, and the more I hear people talk about the different things that bother them, the more I realize, like, I may have conquered my own personal depression for the most part. It pops back up every now and then. It's rarer and rarer every year. But I look back on the history of it, and there are points where I think I was morbidly depressed, but I was depressed about something in specific, so I discounted it as depression and just instead, like, you know, something dramatic. And I think that does somebody a disservice quite a bit too. I don't think we pay attention to that. Like, and again, I think it's because people don't pay attention to their self-care or give their emotions the respect that they really deserve.
Oh, absolutely. And I think another thing too is we're so concerned with ourselves that sometimes we don't even see when other people are hurting.
Oh, totally. That's that's a very good point.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Holy shit.
And like, I understand like why a person would do that. I mean, because I mean, you're living your life for you, and it's easy to go about life just thinking about yourself. But every once in a while, take a step back and just look at people around you. And like, sometimes you may not even realize it, but somebody else may be hurting that you could just, with one kind word, like that old analogy, with one kind word, you can save someone from jumping off a bridge or whatever.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Like, the more I'm thinking about this, the more I'm like looking back, and I'm like, oh fuck, dude. I think like my last two girlfriends I had before Memory. I don't think the reason that they failed were necessarily.
Memory is fantastic, dude. I love seeing her pop up in your videos all the time. Tell her I love her, dude.
I will. Absolutely, she's great. But like, before I met her, I had these two girlfriends. Well, I've had a few girlfriends before, but the last two before her weren't bad people. But like, the more I'm thinking about it, the girlfriend I had before those two, like, fucking used to beat the shit out of me and like kicked me in the face and all sorts of crazy shit. And now that we even brought up like you know, depression and into like relationships and problems with dating, I'm realizing all those times that I was dating those other two girls, and I was like a total fucking spaz because I was like all fucked up and never dealt with the shit that I had dealt with before. Like, I never processed it. And like, I just realized that, and my mind's kind of blown in the minute.
No shit.
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't even want to get started on exes. Holy shit. We'll be here like all night.
Yeah. I mean, that's you know, I've already kind of said my part on that, but that's my entire like realm of dealing with these issues is that. And you know, and it's not even, it's weird because I'm pretty much still okay and cool with like all of them except for maybe like, say, my previous one. And it's just such a strange, I don't really understand. Like, I think back and I examine this stuff and I'm like, why didn't this work out? What the fuck happened? And it's one of those things that, I can't help but think about it, because I have to try to understand why and try to prevent these things from happening again. And the thing is, like, I always think that, because I'm like, dude, I'm not like I was saying in the stream before, like I'm a pretty fucking chill guy. Like I don't do stuff. I hardly even yell. Like it's so rare to get me pissed off, because I'm just how chill I am. And then I wonder, I'm like, is that a part of it? Is that, should I fucking be more of a dickhead? And I'm not talking about in a way that, when they say, oh, nice guys finish last, because I'm not like nice on that level, like to where I don't let fucking people step all over me. But it's just, I don't know, maybe there's a balance or something like that. Because I mean, I'll just be like honest, like say there's especially since I've started the channel, you have so many viewers, and you have only 20% of the audience are women, but a lot of them are like, oh, I wish you lived by me and all this shit. And I'm like, yeah, like I don't like I don't think fucking anything would actually come from that shit, man. Like just from my prior experiences, because I've always been one of those people that never gave a fuck about where the girl was from an early age, because I used to, be in a band, and I've gone on the road and shit, and so I can always like have access to women, even if they're far away. I didn't give a fuck. And even to the point where there was a girl that I was dating from Germany, which came down a few times to California, and then things didn't work out when I was actually going to go over there, because I've been trying to backpack and do stuff in Europe for a long time. And then I just did, went to Greece, and shit like that didn't work out, when I was seeing a girl from over there. So I've never really had like an issue, like say traveling, especially now, because I just, I can do this job from anywhere. But I'm like, what the fuck, man? And then when there was a girl in my backyard, right? She was actually close by, which is usually what you usually want, right? That's usually what you want. Usually you want a girl that's
house, yeah.
Like usually you want a girl that's just right fucking down the street. She's not that far away. That shit seemed cool as fuck. But then all of a sudden that shit didn't work out either, and that was fucked up, man. I got like completely screwed over on that. And some of my viewers even know about it. I privated the video since then, but I let people know what happened, because I was like, oh, I talked about this. My recent ex, or my recent girlfriend, I called her my lady, and there's people like, oh, what a gentleman, he calls her his lady. And then fucking like the next video, my girlfriend broke up with me, and I'm all sad as fuck in the thumbnail.
Me and Mems were so worried about you. We were so fucking worried about you. We watched that together. We're like, no shit, oh no, like we're totally worried.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, man.
See, the thing is, though, I think you realize you're adult when you start learning that it's all about the quality of a person's character, not how hot they are.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's always been one of those.
That is true. I mean, that's important, but hot. Them being hot is also kind of important. Like they may have a great personality, but if you're not physically attracted to them in some way, I don't know.
Well, that's a good point. As long as you're, you find them you subjectively hot. You know what I mean? Like to everybody else, you might be like, ugh. But as long as you're digging them, that's what it really comes down to. And the women that I've been with, it just so happened too that they're, it would be like a both thing, where I'm more interested in, what they're into. Like I always say, I like women that are really into memes and shit and dumb stuff like that. And then if they so happen, they don't have to be into like the shit that I'm into completely, but if they can hang, and if like say sometimes I even like when my boys come over and I'm just watching like one of them play like Dark Souls or vice versa, and we're just hanging out, and it's fun. And if like they can enjoy doing the same type of thing, that's what really that's just like important to me. Like stuff.
You find a commonality in life.
Right, like just something like that, and then and everything else can just be in variance. It's all good. But I don't know, man. Like it sounds like, and the reason why I didn't release those videos that I made when I was talking about the health issues and stuff, because of how fucking trivial this stuff sounds to me. When I hear it coming out of my mouth, I always feel, because I'm like, dude, like everybody deals with this shit, man. I always feel like kind of dumb. I'm like, well, I'm not even. Why am I talking about this? And it's something that maybe I need to get over, because it's even now, like as I'm talking, I'm like looking over in the chat to see if people will be like, fuck, shut the fuck up, dude. Like you fucking pussy. I'm just trying to see how I'm trying to gauge, but I don't know, everybody's chill, everybody's fine, other than there's a few shit posters, but hey, you guys are always there, I appreciate you. Yeah, it's I don't know. I guess I feel like I'm just I feel like I'm bitching when I talk about this stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's
yes and no, because I mean, like it's like we said earlier, like the guy that he felt like talking makes it worse. Sometimes you just need to vent. You absolutely need to vent. And like, thankfully, like you guys, like your group, the VidCon group, like you guys are awesome to each other. And like, I can see that in all of your videos across like every single one of your videos, how much you guys love and care about each other. And that's like wonderful. And it's awesome that you guys can do that with one another. And like, hopefully everybody can find a community like that where they can actually, like, I don't know, like Derek calls up Jeff for rep and like, dude, I just really need to talk. Like, I've had a bad day. You know, hopefully everybody can find that and like be able to just have that release, because sometimes, like we said earlier, you just need that person that'll sit there and listen.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy too, because the as big as the world is and as interconnected as we are, there's a lot of people who feel very much alone out there. Maybe they don't have necessarily like a whole lot of real life friends, and they try and reach out to like online communities and find some sort of connection with other people. And sometimes it can manifest as something real, and a lot of times it doesn't. I've known far too many young kids who get into like, you know, forum communities, that sort of thing, and when it falls apart on them for whatever stupid dramatic reason, because it always happens, it's the internet or it's just life. It's the same to them as being crushed by a group of friends. But it's the same thing I'd say to somebody who lost their group of friends in real life is, you know, there's fucking billions of people out there, and you can find those types of people. Finding success in YouTube and meeting my peers and getting to know people who are effectively my coworkers has done wonders for my happiness, you know. And I think that's important. I agree. Like, reach out and find like-minded people. It's absolutely important. But by the way, I am coming to Seattle soon, so Dan,
okay,
we're
let's
gonna be
hang
hanging
out
soon.
this time. Yeah.
Yes. I tried to get fucking Ben or Scotty to call you when I was up there last time, but they didn't even hang out with me. We got done with the show and they were like, "Later, dude," and I'm like, "Oh, guess I'll get an Uber." Fuck.
Oh, that sucks.
It's all right. I'm gonna go up there and hang out with them again too, and you this time.
Hey, welcome to stay. I have I have a big couch bed, so you need a place to stay. Less money.
Nice. You know, it's funny when you're just mentioning the drunken peasants. A while back, I used to work at Walmart, and I went over there to, you know, pick up a few things, and some of the guys, they're like, I haven't seen them in a long time. Like, "Oh shit, you know, what's up, dude?" And I guess, you know, the drunken peasants, they have a pretty large audience, because a couple of them like, "Hey, dude, we saw you on the drunken peasants," and blah blah blah. I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like, I felt like I hate when people like in real life see the stuff online. And then
oh, I know that feeling 100%. It's horrible. I hate that too.
And then I wonder, I'm like, did I say anything fucking weird that I wouldn't want these people to know? Because yeah, I don't know. I never think that these people are even, you know, people that are close to me or watching anything that I'm a part of. But I did one time. There's a guy that I've been friends with since I was 16, and then I found out that, oh, he's been watching like almost every single video that I make and stuff. I didn't know. And then he just happened to reach out to me and he said something that was a reference to my latest video. And I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ. I'm like, who else is watching my stuff? And I probably need to, you know, make sure I'm not saying anything weird or something that might, like, say, be passed around people that I didn't even want to, you know stuff about me. Because I'm an open book, dude. Like, when it comes to, like, you know, little things here and there. And I might say something that's probably really retarded, but yeah, you know, as far as that's as far as it goes, though. But that was just a little interesting thing.
I had a fucking former roommate get a hold of me a couple of months ago, and he was like, "Because of the content of your YouTube videos, I can no longer be friends with you."
No shit.
Yeah,
I hate that.
I've only had that happen once, and I was like, dude, I don't care. And I unfriended them before they did it to me. I'm like, fuck you, I don't give a shit.
That's what I said too. Like, the dude still owes one of my best friends money for a car, and I was like, I don't give a shit. Pay my buddy. Fuck off. And then, like, I guess like a week ago, I saw him in the fucking mugshots for the local area. Homeboy got a fucking DUI for the second time in a year.
Ooh.
Damn.
That's jail time now, right? Like, that's When you hit like when
you don't get your license back for a year after your second one.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I got another super chat, and this is a little unfortunate right here. This is $5 from the Triforce Kid. Appreciate that. And he says, I moved to Tulsa to Colorado. I moved from Tulsa to Colorado to help my mom. I have no social structure where I am, no friends to reach out to in the area when I need to talk. And this is something that I can totally relate to because not too long ago, it was last year, I moved to Arizona to help my mom move. She needed to move some stuff, and that was like, I don't know anybody out there other than my mom. So it was really strange. The only thing that actually kind of helped me and kept me sane was I was still doing YouTube, but ultimately, and it might sound weird, but fucking Tinder, man. Like, I seriously was like, just put myself on these social media things, and I wasn't putting myself as a thirsty motherfucker. I was putting myself as like, I'm new to the area. I'm legitimately looking for like people to hang out with, preferably women, of course. Like, so you would just try to hang out with women, and then maybe it could manifest into something while you're there. But dude, I met some cool girls while I was out there, and I also got showed a local arcade. It was called a barcade, and it was just it was this shit, man. I was just like, why is there not a barcade in my fucking area? Technically, there is one, but it's like there's an arcade and then there's a bar.
Yeah,
like,
barcades are amazing.
We have 3 in this fucking tiny ass college town, man. Dude, 3 in Eugene. That's wild.
Awesome.
We used to have Dave and Buster's all over the place when I was stationed in Texas.
Yeah, Dave and Buster's is cool as fuck. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was dope. So I mean, dude, if Triforce Kid, if you can, I mean, try the social media things. I know there's a lot of people, and sometimes I even I wouldn't say, I don't know, man. There's what do you call those? I hate Facebook, but there are some pretty dope groups on there, like local stuff. Like even say like I'm a member to the group my hometown, and I always like I'm up to date with things that are going on, and there's always little cool things. One of my friends, he's an artist, and he does little he leaves pieces of his art around the city, and then whoever finds it first, they get it, and it's a little cool community thing. And it's always there's ways to get involved into developing friendships and stuff like that. I've talked to people that I'm like, oh yeah, you're from the same area. So social media can be pretty fucking awesome, if you know the right places to look, if you're trying to actually befriend some people, find out what's actually going on in town. And like I said, things like Tinder can also be a connection where, like, if you're not expecting like some suck, like it can be pretty beneficial, like from the experiences I have had. And that's the thing. Don't expect suck, man. Otherwise you're gonna have a bad time. That's the only thing I can say.
For Tinder, Jesus.
Yeah, like if you're expecting to get laid, it's probably not gonna work out for you. That's all I'm saying.
I tried looking at Tinder like a year ago, and like it was just the most depressing shit.
It's a horrible app. Almost when I tried using it, it was all spam bots. They were like Tinder verify fuckme.com.
Yeah.
And the AI bots seem to get better and better, actually. Like,
they actually have like half of them are the bots. The other half are like, I'm Shayra Moonwolf of the clan Wolf Bear. I love healing crystals, smashing the patriarchy, and not shaving my armpits.
And her image is like her arm, and it's all blue. It's like
yeah. And it's like, message me if you want to talk about political revolution. And I'm like, I'm just here to get my dick sucked. What the fuck?
You just want to swipe and smash.
Yeah. But, however, I will say there's a website that my friend told me about called OkCupid. That one I think is more like, I guess Tinder, because like most people say Tinder's trash. Maybe I just got lucky when I was on it, and or maybe it's just in Arizona where I was at. Maybe it was legitimate, and there's a lot of people there that was, I don't know. Maybe
you are objectively really fucking handsome too, so like that's probably part of what.
Well, it is. I mean,
just saying.
I mean, I appreciate that. I just maybe so. I will say there's something I do want to say about that though.
You blushing like a motherfucker. Look at
that
green. I just like I don't know. I don't know what to say. I hate when people talk about me, dude.
You just say thank you. That's all you say.
Thank you, man.
See, talking makes it worse, right?
Yeah. Okay. No, but okay. Look, check this out. I did notice when I was heavily on the dating apps, when I was like, I'm gonna try all this shit out. there was way too many women that were just, you know, into me. They're matching with me because you could tell that they're very urban. They had a very like hip hop feel to them. The women usually have very long nails and big hooped earrings, and they weren't always black. It was just whatever, like say they just had, and they were just totally into me because they're like, oh, they think they know who I am, and I'm like, dude, I'm a fucking nerd, dude. I'm like, you're not gonna have fun with me, and it kept becoming a fucking problem where I'm like hanging out with these girls and we have absolutely nothing in common. It's just like, I guess we can just fucking bang and then that's it. Like, there's literally gonna be nothing else because we're not gonna be able to watch the same shit. Maybe we can watch The Walking Dead because everybody likes that, but that's pretty much as far as it goes. Doing anything else, like, oh, let's go to a club. I'm like, fuck off. I don't want to go to a fucking club and spend $80 on fucking drinks, dude. Like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, see, that's why, like, a lot of people call me an asshole because I'm so upfront with shit all the time. And it's like, dude, if you are just upfront and tell people exactly the way you are and who you are, it makes it so much easier with personal interactions because you weed out the people that just are so offended and like upset over people that just can't handle the way you personally are. And a lot of people don't need that shit in their lives and should just be upfront because you don't have to worry about someone who later on learns who you really are. That's like, oh shit, really? Oh, well, never mind. And then you've just wasted all this time trying to build a like personal interaction with someone, and it's like, well, now I have to start over.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's something that yeah, I know that pretty well as well. I know that pretty well. But yeah, I don't know, man. I would say I don't even know. Like I said, I don't really have any advice on that shit, man. Like I'm fucking.
Just be yourself.
Yeah, be yourself. Obviously, right? Be yourself, and then I guess patience is also fucking, man. That's another thing that we were talking about earlier, and like I don't even know. Like I talked to one of my friends earlier, and it was more of those like grass is greener things because he's been in a relationship for a decade. And he's like, I don't know, man. Sometimes I just get fucking tired of my ball and chain, you know. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I have a pretty lengthy sheet of women I've been with, and then like, what am I gonna do with this? Maybe I can impress a fucking 16-year-old and tell him, hey, look how many women I've slept with, bro. And they're like, wow. And then that's it. I'm just like, I don't have shit to show for that, man. And then like he was kind of like, oh yeah, I guess so. But it was really strange. We were having a talk about that, and you know, in hindsight, I think I would way rather prefer just that connection, you know, with that one person for all that time. Even if there's those little times where it might get a little bit rocky, but that's just what humans go through, right?
Well, that's normal with every relationship, though. You have to be willing to like deal with that kind of stuff because, like, if you want it to be rosy the entire relationship, you're just not thinking straight. That's not the way relationships work.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, okay, so I had 3 relationships over 11 years. So I lost my virginity and I dated that woman for 5 years, one for 3, another one for 3. So 11 years straight. I'd only been with 3 people in my life. And then it got to a certain point, and I was 27 when this happened. I lost my virginity at 16. When I hit 27, I just realized that I had not really ever had, I never focused on fucking me. I never focused on me in like relationships and that sort of thing. What I was interested, I was always so determined to make a relationship work. I was like, I'm just going to fucking be me. I don't care who gives a shit. And I became a fucking slut. And it was awesome. It was great. I had a great fucking time. And I was always honest. I'm like, I'm just here to use you for sex. If you're not cool with that, we're not fucking. But if you're down, let's get down. And I had a whole year where I just fucking slutted it out, and I had an amazing time. Really cool. Made lots of really good friends. I'm still friends with lots of people that I fucked at the time. Lasting friendships. But it was having that experience that allowed me to, when I was ready to get into a relationship, do so with a full appreciation of myself, you know, outside of the requirement of a relationship. So sometimes it is kind of good to slut up a little bit. I mean, you can still be picky. Don't go dragging your dick through the chemical soup of the wasteland of humanity.
As they say, don't be a fool, wrap your tool.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
Never been spoken.
No, it was a good experience for me. It worked out really well, and it helped me to later on in my relationships, like, not only treat my partner with respect, but also have respect for myself. And like, people they reciprocate that sort of thing. It's not only just relationships, but it's friendships too. Like, if you're self-confident, it will help others to be self-confident. You know, if you respect yourself, it will help others to respect themselves, and you can have mutual respect. It's a copacetic, you know, relationship.
Yeah,
it's empathy.
Oh, absolutely. And I want to say real quick, because I saw a couple of people that, you know, maybe they're confused as far as, like, say, talking about mental health, and then, you know, we're talking about a lot of relationship stuff. I'm like, this is, you know, this absolutely coincides. This is absolutely relevant, talking about this stuff, especially, you know, what I talked about, my main issues with my mental health issues were, you know, stemmed from relationships, you know, and talking this stuff out, and then having, you know, making connections and seeing what other people have gone through, and you know, finding that relevancy is essential to, you know, to being healthy. And at least for me, you know, this is like, especially hearing what Jeff was just talking about, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can relate with that. And I totally, you know, I like what he says, especially about, like, you know, learning about yourself and stuff, you know, through the sledification, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
so it's that's Jeff the Thoughty. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, we love Jeff, man. But yeah, this is, I don't know, I think this has been pretty good. But I think the last thing I want to talk about is where and, like, how you can get help. Like, say, if people that actually need help, people that are, you know, if you're not just trying to, you know, reach out to people, but if you're trying to seek professional help, like, where can you go? I know I already put the link to the national, the suicide hotline. I already put that in the description, you know, and I think that's something that people should always kind of just have it somewhere, you know, if it's in the notes on your phone or just anywhere in your DMs, just have it somewhere. And you never know, we can easily just shoot it to somebody, you know, or it is just easily just a Google engine search away. That's one thing. I was actually trying to look and see, like, if there was like some type of database where you can find, you know, help near you, like, say, if it's just like a therapist or something like that. And but I'm sure, like, a lot of this stuff is you know, is a few clicks away. But I know at sometimes it can even be hard just to do that. I mean, I'm pretty stubborn when it comes to going to fucking doctors, or, like, I've had a problem with my ears and pressures since I first flew over to Greece, and that was in November of last year. And I thought it was like, had to do with an infection, and I've gotten multiple sets of antibiotics, but nothing's worked. And I finally booked to see a specialist, and this is so long, and I'm like, who knows? Maybe I've done some permanent damage because I'm a fucking idiot. So, like, don't be like me. And if you know that you need help or there's something going on, you know, just try to take care of it as soon as possible. You know, just try, especially before it manifests into something that you might not be able to come back from. Like, especially when we talk about mental health, like, you don't want to get into a situation where, you know, if you have suicidal thoughts, you know, you don't want to get to that point where you're past the point of no return. Like, maybe you could do something, you know, talk to somebody that can really help you out. And obviously, you know, talking helps most people. And like Repzion was saying, like, to the person that said that talking made things worse, that I really do think, and I agree with Repzion by saying that it was probably you were talking, maybe you're talking to the wrong person, or they said something to you that didn't really help. They said the wrong thing to you that kind of I hate to say triggered, but, like, you know, essentially triggered you to feel worse. And I definitely know about that, because I have family that if you try to talk to them, they're kind of like, oh yeah, fuck out of here. You know, it's kind of, they don't really have, they don't say the right things to you. And it even happened to me. I'll even say, the last thing I want to say is that I had a turning point in my ex-girlfriend, where we broke up and we were kind of still cool. And then there was a turning point where I was in a really shit mood, and it was apparently obvious, you know, especially I'm hardly ever in really terrible moods where I just feel where I'm angry and whatever. And I was just dealing with some bullshit on YouTube. and she kind of like challenged me. We had a disagreement about something, and my thing is when somebody's feeling like shit, I'm not going to challenge them. I'll understand like what's going through that. Even if I disagree with it, I'll still like just understand, try to be empathetic. And she was like, just didn't get it. She didn't get it that like, I'm like, dude, I got more pissed off and I started yelling at her. And it kind of like really was like a turning point towards like, we're not going to be fucking cool anymore, dude. Like, I don't know if we're going to be able to recover from this, but it was like a lack of empathy. And I think that's one of those things that happened to that one other person where they were probably talking to somebody or talking to people that lack empathy and they weren't empathizing whatsoever, didn't really understand where they were coming from. And believe me, I used to be like that. Before I dealt with my depression and anxiety a few years ago, even with helping my friend out with her clinical depression, I didn't understand it, but I was sympathetic and I talked to her and made her feel good, but I didn't really understand how she felt. Didn't get it until it hit me, and then I'm like, wow, you know, now I get it. And then now it's too late because, like I said in the beginning of the stream, that she killed herself. Like, she's gone, nothing I can do about that. Wish I could have helped, but it was a little bit too late, you know. So serious stuff, guys. If you know anybody, if you even think that you know somebody, dude, that's, you know, that's going through some hard times, and, you know, maybe they can just use a few kind words. Shit, you guys remember Chicken Soup for the Soul or whatever? You guys remember those books?
Oh yeah,
oh, yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, I remember reading one in 6th grade. I'll never forget. Like, there was this kid that was, you know, he was bullied and all this stuff, and he was on his way home to go kill himself. But he bumped into a guy, dropped his books, you know, on the way home, and the guy picked him up and was being super nice to him. They had a chat, and it changed his life. He was like, you know what, dude? Like, there's some good people in this world, and it helped him feel better and himself. And it was one of those stories, and I'm like, that's fucking dope. Like, I really appreciate something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's all I have to say on that.
Overall, just be kind to one another.
Yeah,
be
absolutely.
excellent to one another.
Bill and Ted.
Fuck out of here.
Sorry.
Nah,
whatever. That's a good movie.
I'll see myself out.
All right, go right now. No,
yeah, if you don't mind, real quick, because I've seen a couple of veterans even comment down in the bottom.
Cool.
If you watch, there's a video from Five Finger Death Punch, The Wrong Side of Heaven, which literally, because of my military experience, actually makes me tear up every time I watch it. But at the end of the video, there are a ton of links for veterans that need help or are like have nowhere to go. Just go to any one of those like links that they provide or sources or whatever it is at the end of the video and use them. Feel free. It's not a weakness to do that. You actually you're trying to help yourself out. Yeah,
I do. I totally agree with that. And it's something that I was involved with last year, and actually this year I haven't really been very aware, but I also I participated in small things. Either if there was donating money or say just raising awareness for like PTSD, and I was doing this 23 challenge. It was like 23 push-ups. So I remember The Rock, he shared it into stuff. I'm like, genuine guy. And I try to do a lot of things like that. And this year has been a little bit different because I've been trying to figure out a lot of things myself. And then I can always say that, you know, if you're not really in a situation to, you know, you need to help yourself before you can help other people. If you're not in a position, you know, if you don't feel like you're in a position to help people, I would say don't do it.
Yeah,
and,
for sure. It's really important.
Yeah. And that's kind of how I've been this year. I've been trying to get my everything stable because I'm I've been a very irresponsible adult, you know, just very carefree, always I'm just going to be, you know, jamming in bands and touring and whatever. I don't care about stuff and let my credit slip. A lot of things happen. And now I'm like in a position where I'm like, okay, enough fucking around, dude. I'm getting too old. I got to fix everything and stop like giving my money. I'm thinking like I have extra money and I'll give it to Doctors Without Borders or something. But I'm like, actually, I need to pay off my fucking debt instead of, you know what I'm saying? Like things like that where I'm like, I'd rather just give it. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, I can't even get a credit card if I wanted one because I'm a fucking moron. You know what I mean? Like just for not fixing myself. I've used so much money doing other things or lending it to other people but I'm like, I'm not helping myself. And I've pretty much in a situation where I'm like, all right, fuck that. I'm going to just start actually helping myself, dude. And start, and adulting, as they say. because yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. You know, it's pretty ridiculous that the age that I'm at, and but at the same time, things can be much worse. So I just try to, like, you know, stay positive, try to stay positive and stuff like that. And yeah, guys, so check out those links. I don't know if anybody else, if you guys have anything, Repzion, or anything you want to say specifically. And
I've said most of what I wanted to say.
All right, Jeff, Heavy Arms, any of you guys any last parting words?
Traps aren't gay.
That's
Did you say aren't or are?
Aren't
are not.
They are gay.
I
no,
mean,
they're not gay. I don't want my grandma giving me shit about it anymore.
They are gay.
I mean,
I'm just kidding. All my grandparents are dead.
Oh God.
Oh, God.
That's a debate for another stream, and
I killed them so I could fuck traps.
Oh God. God.
Oh, wow.
God damn it, Jeff. Might have to cut this part of the stream out. Somebody's like, oh, I really need help and stuff, and I need, like,
they'll laugh. They need laughter.
There's actually a YouTuber, Aiden Paladin. She was on the Warskis the other day. She actually gave scientific evidence as to why traps are not gay.
Really?
Yeah, it was in the stream the other day.
Scientific evidence. Okay.
Scientific. Okay. I don't understand. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna have to thoroughly disagree with that, but next time we could definitely have a stream just specifically about that, because I haven't seen that yet. I've seen videos made on it, but I haven't seen a stream about it.
Oh, I'm just talking shit right now.
What we should do? We should get a bunch of our YouTuber friends who actually have green screens, and we should, like, make a stream where we actually, like, cut them out and put them at a debate table and have, like, a formalized style debate on whether or not traps are gay. YouTubers versus YouTubers.
I like that.
We could do it. It'd be easy.
Let's set it up, dude, because we have to end this once and for all. You know,
just like the pineapple on pizza stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's another one. I think it's quieted down, but there's going to be another storm on the horizon. I can tell. But all right, so guys, I want to thank everybody in the chat that's been sticking around. A lot of you guys sharing your stories. I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody, especially because the stream was already pretty long, and maybe I'll do something like this again. Especially, I don't really utilize my second channel, so I can probably do a part 2 and do something extremely long on there as well. When I get better, because if you haven't seen, I have the fucking sniffles. My nose has been running and shit. So, but yeah, thanks again. I want to thank my guest, Repzion. I know you always have a lot to say about this stuff, so glad to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. Appreciate it.
For sure. And Reverie, she's already gone. She's a wonderful hip hop artist. She's underground. She's from the Valley. She's not too far away from me.
She's really pretty.
Yeah, she's I've definitely I was really excited to have her on, because I've been, like, say, you know, just crushing on her and her music, and then say one of her really good friends, Gavlin, that does fantastic music. You should check them out, Reverie. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check out, if you guys are into that underground, that conscious hip hop. And Jeff, you know, it's always a pleasure, man. Always love when you stop by. It's always a blast. It's always good shit.
My pleasure.
And Heavy Arms, man, it's cool. I'm glad that you're able to join it and share your story, and especially talking about Five Finger Death Punch, their music video, Wrong Side of Heaven, right? Yeah, and talking about that and the links and stuff. And I know a lot of people have seen that. I saw some people in the links, and for a metal band, man, that is a very huge and successful song. Like, that was really, really surprising. Like,
well, yeah, it was really emotional to everybody. But yeah, thanks for having me in here. I actually didn't think you'd let me in.
I mean, if I've been wanting to do more streams where it can just be more open, like we just shoot this shit and then I just post and see who shows up. And I think this was more like to get another story. And there was a couple other people wanting to get on, but I just knew it wasn't going to be enough time. So I'm sorry for the people that that wanted to come on. And I'll probably do something like this again, maybe sometime next month. And then because like I was saying in a few tweets, that it's not like one month isn't really enough to talk about this stuff, because we talk about it, we bring it up, and then we kind of forget. So, you know, doing stuff about this periodically, maybe even people kind of checking up on each other can be really smart, could be a good thing. So I can try my best to stay up on this stuff, but don't fucking quote me on that stuff, man. I'm horrible at consistency. You know, that's why I told everybody to stay on my ass when I was working out and I'm starting to get back into shape, like fat shame me and all that stuff. And you guys are fucking savages, goddamn.
Oh shit, I can give you tips. Like I said, I used to be a unit fitness program manager for the Air Force.
Oh yeah, I have you on your DM, so I can always poke at you, man.
Cool.
But,
Stop.
All right, guys, that's it. Have a wonderful day. I'm gonna go I might stream some Dark Souls 3 right now, depending on how I feel. So we'll see. But yeah, thanks again.
Bye, everybody.
I'll log in and try and kill you.
Asshole.